Hi, I'd like to show you how to make a small piece of music very quickly using the Tonematrix service on the SongTrellis website. SongTrellis, SongTrellis.com. If you go to the home page or almost any other page on the site, there's a link bar that appears towards the top of pages. And what we want to do is go to the middle of the top line to where it says Tonematrix and click on that, which will launch us our music generating page using a square grid tool called a Tonematrix. Here we go. So the columns in this grid are slices of time. In this particular one, 16 slices of time. They're grouped into groups of 4 because each of those, the beginning of each group of 4 marks the beginning of a beat in this measure of music that we're going to create. So columns are time slices, and rows are determining a pitch that's going to sound in a particular time slice. If I click on a square, it'll turn red, and as soon as it turns red, we'll start hearing, as soon as the server can respond, the pitch that corresponds to that square of the matrix. And now it's looping. It's going through all 16 time slices, and every time it comes around to the one in column 1, we hear that red pitch ping. I'm going to choose another one, which will cause a melody, 2-note melody, to sound like it's ascending. And I'm now going to, having gone up, gone up and then made a space, I'm going to come down and put a pitch in the space left between those 2 pitches. Okay, and I'm going to add some more. And I think I'm going to even go lower just at the very end of this. Okay, I guess I want to show some of the, having had this melody, there's a whole bunch of operations available over here in the right side of the page that let us alter this initial idea that we have built here. So one thing I could do is say take all these squares and shift them up 1 position, and we're going to get a different melody. It's going to have the same shape, but it'll be different pitches, and it will actually have a different quality about it. I'm going to do it again. Okay, and I'll go back down. And so that shows shifting up and shifting down. I can do this an operation that's called inversion, which says every place this melody moves up, make it go down, and vice versa. So the tendency of my previous melody was to make a jump up and then to trend down. Well, this now jumps down and then trends all the way up. I'll go back to what it was originally. And I can say, instead of playing this in the forward direction, reverse it. And I could also invert the piece in reverse. There we go. Now I'm going to play this with a click track to hear how this sounds laid across the beat structure of our measure. It feels a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to rotate, so I'm going to start moving pitches to the left, which changes how this melody lays across the beats of this piece. Still doesn't sound comfortable to me. even not there. I'm going to change that pitch. Yeah, I like this. Okay, I like that a lot, actually. Okay, I now have a little piece of music and done a lot of cool things to it. I'm going to save this, and when I save it, it's going to generate a MIDI sequence transcription of this little loop that's playing. And because I'm running on OS X Yosemite on a Macintosh, this will instantly be opened up inside of GarageBand. And so let's take a look at that. Yeah, this is going to continue. Well, let's do it. So there's GarageBand. I'm going to go back to the page on SongTrellis and tell it to pause itself so that we can hear what GarageBand can do to this music. I gotta find it. There we go, GarageBand. And I can see that GarageBand played, it actually transformed my music a little bit in an undesirable way. This is something I'll fix in the future. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but it's of no consequence. We can make this. We can do some very interesting things here. First, let's play it first and hear what we have. Okay, so one problem is that it interpreted my beat track as notes on the piano, so I'd like to tell it to not do that. I'll just mute it to begin with, and I'll then eventually erase it. Scroll back to beginning. Okay, one other thing it did is it changed. I had a harp patch that was being used inside of the SongTrellis page. It was when it came over to GarageBand, it turned it to Steinway. But no problem. Let's get it back sounding like a harp. We can go. I just opened up the patch library for GarageBand, and I'm going to choose the harp sound. And I guess I'm doing it for a sonnet track. Let me do that again. So orchestral, harp. And now if we play, we'll hear this change. So actually even kind of a nice improvement over the sounds that I was getting originally inside of the SongTrellis page. But that's what GarageBand is good at, making things sound extremely pretty after you have the idea in place. Okay, stop that. What else can we do? Well, let's drastically change the instrumentation. Let's do a guitar. Oh, it's Let's try a different guitar. So doing a classical acoustic guitar, a hard rock guitar. If you would, please. Let's stop this for a second. Go back. Say play with that. It refuses. Huh. Wonder if it's because the melody is extremely high. Let's use a choir. Let's use a chamber choir. Let's try a cathedral organ. Use synths of various sorts. Doing different chordal sounds based on the roots of the pitches of my melody. Let's try basses. Anyway, I hope that shows you, what's possible. It's hard, really quite. If you don't play instruments, it's really hard to get original music into GarageBand. And if you have something available like a Tonematrix page available to you, then that's not of any consequence to you any longer. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.